finding a soulmate or finding yourself? That is the question, all right? And drop where you guys are from in the comments. I want to see who's watching us. I know we had Australia in the building the other night, and I was like, we got like everybody watching us. So
going down under.
Okay, look. Look, show that theater, show us that theater degree, okay?
Off with his head.
Utilizing that theater degree, okay? As you should.
Listen.
As you should.
The people don't know.
In the house, okay?
Come on, Cali.
Thank you.
We going back to Cali. Hey.
Okay, and we know it's earlier over there, so it's not as late in Cali as it is over here. And actually, we're on different time zones too, Bestie, right? So we all just making it together, okay? So it doesn't matter if it's nighttime, morning time, midday, you're having your tea. We all coming together for a common goal, which is to heal. All right, so let's get into tonight's topic. So, when you're in the middle of healing, your energy is fragile, okay? Your heart is fragile. Any little thing can take you off your edge, right? Our wounds often bleed into new connections, which is why people are like, I don't know if I should date, I don't know if I should heal, what should I do, right? So sometimes people date to distract themselves from that hurt, from that wound, from that pain. They believe that, dating is going to basically divide and conquer that pain so that pain doesn't hurt as much as it would, say that they sit in it by themselves and really feel everything and grow through what they go through. So some people think that dating is the answer and dating is the end all be all to getting over a heartbreak, right? But should you actually wait until you've completely healed before you head into the next chapter of your love life? Should you? Bessie, what do you think? Should you wait until that heart is completely healed, or should you just jump into the sea head first? No life jacket.
Y'all not about to like me. But I'm going to answer this question with a question.
Go ahead.
That's like you saying, when you've been working a 12-hour shift at work and you have on dress shoes, and you've been in these shoes for 12 hours, are you going to put a sneaker on top of that shoe, or are you going to remove that shoe and then put your foot in something comfortable? Are you going to are you going to eat tonight, or are you going to eat tonight's dinner off the same plate and fork that you ate yesterday and did not clean it?
I see where you're going with this.
Are you going to go use the bathroom without flushing the toilet and then go back and use it again?
Now that's just plain nasty.
Right. And that's what some people are doing in these relationships. When they don't heal properly and they go on to the next relationship, and then they expect the new person to be able to deal with everything.
Ooh, so if I'm hearing you correctly, Bessie, it sounds like my ears hear that, all right, you doing all of this, dipping and dapping and don't know what's happening, and you kind of sticking and moving, bouncing around different relationships, not even knowing that you're leaving residue with all these people, and they might not even know that they're being infected, we'll say, with the residue, because you haven't taken the time to necessarily heal.
Exactly.
Leaving residue with all of these potential suitors. Is that what I heard?
Yep. And then and then the other part to that is, even with you going to this new person, you're not even looking through a healed lens. So you could be going back into the same situation, just a new face. or worse,
Same energy, different person.
or worse.
A lot of times that happens.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about that a couple of episodes ago. Like a lot of people date the same person or no, the same energy in a different body. We spoke about that because they haven't taken the time to necessarily heal. Now, this is going to be, God, what's the word I'm looking for? Groundbreaking to a lot of you guys because I have a completely different perspective on this. Now, let me tell you this though, first and foremost, before I elaborate. I understand where you're coming from.
Mm-hmm.
Completely. I understand, overstand, and understand because I do believe that it's essential. It's essential for you to make sure that that heart is intact before you decide to get someone else or bring it to someone else for them to bring to you for you guys to, come together and be whole or whatnot. Well, you're whole without someone, but you know what I mean.
Right.
But I truly believe, and this is just my personal experience, that healing is a never-ending journey. So you should always be on the path of evolving. Everything on Atlantis, everything on Mother Gaia, on God's green earth should evolve, right? So I feel like evolution is never-ending. So you're always evolving, which means you're always changing, which means you should always be healing from something because you're going to be hurt. That's just life, right? So I truly believe that if you know where you are mentally, physically, and emotionally, and you're okay with where you are, and you are conscientious of what hurt you, what broke you, it's okay for you to date.
Mm-hmm.
Just in my opinion. Now, I'm not saying if you out here looking like Halle Berry and losing Isaiah walking through the grocery store, you definitely need to heal, okay? You need to take some time out and just say, look, the Most High, Spirit God, angels, ascended masters, what do I need to do to get back on track? Because I'm over here looking like I'm on you know what. But I truly believe that even if you have a little bit of pain, a little bit of hurt, you're scoring a little bit, it's okay to date as long as you identify that pain has not gone away. And as long as you are conscientious about working on healing that wound, I do believe it's okay to date. Because you don't want to miss out on something because you're like, oh, well, I'm not fully healed yet. I don't know if I should date. I think I should probably wait. That person could be in the same predicament as you, apprehensive, not really sure if they should date.
But
tell me what you think.
I would say that, but that also is the recipe for twin flames. Because when you think about it, if you're not fully healed, and let's be clear, like, yes, you can still be in healing and still date. But when spirit says, okay, if you're somebody that's been dealing with loneliness all the time, but you're still healing from that, but you always want your partner around you 24/7, spirit's like, okay, yeah, she, he, they're not ready. They're not ready. And so then you're going to be playing chase and your person is going to run away. And then when the person comes back to you because this person has had to heal what they healed and you finished healing, now you two can come back together.
Gotcha.
And then because the other thing is spirit don't want you to get your best when you're broken. So think about it like this. If you think about so there's this parable in the Bible that they use where you can't put new wine in old wine skin. And that's because the freshness of the wine is too powerful for that old skin. And that old skin has been worn and torn. And without proper patchwork and proper repair, the wine spills out of the wine skin. And so
Okay.
either you don't have the wine at all, or you have remnants of what was a full bag of wine, right? So it's important that I will say, if you want to date, right, because that is a choice, just
Right.
understand that you may not find your forever person during that season. Just understand that you may even go through some more lessons. Just understand that you might find some more triggers. Because to your point, you can heal one aspect of yourself, but you may still have three other things to deal with that you hadn't dealt with. And until you dealt with them, Spirit is like, I'm not about, you want Prince Charming with that? Girl, you still got a run in your stocking. You got a broken heel and a missing earring. And we got to repair all these three things first before you get to the prince. Cinderella, girl, you just got your crown fixed.
Got you.
And so that is the only, and I'm not even going to say hesitation. That is the only thing that I think about. And mainly because I have seen it. I have seen this on spiritual lessons where spirit asked me to break up a couple, and I was like, I can't do that. Like, that's between them two. Like, I'm a third party. Who am I to come to tell these two people that they have to break up so that both of them can grow and prosper?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do it, but I can honestly say that both parties have grown and prospered in their respective fields and personally, and even have beautiful relationships now. And then you also have, and then I've seen it physically from working in the health field that I'm in. For those who don't know, I've did a lot of work and still do a lot of work surrounding HIV. A lot of people have those same stories where they said, you know, I went to this person to find love. I went to that person to find love. And in the midst of that, now I'm living with HIV, and for some of them AIDS, right? Looking looking to find a replacement for the void. And the only thing to fill in the void is self-love, right?
Love, right?
Love yourself unconditionally to the point where
Mm-hmm.
you don't hold yourself for the faults that you did when you was younger. Because baby, now you're wiser, right? You're going to do things differently. But when you
That's
love
right.
yourself to the point where you can recognize, as Ashley stated, that some of these things need to be healed. Now you can look at, you can examine your own self, physician, heal thyself, and then when your love comes, you're ready. You're more than ready. You're
That's
overly
right.
prepared.
That's right.
But
That is
you
right.
but you
Oh
do
my
have to
gosh.
know.
And you wrote that down like to a T. And I want to get to this question too because I have been itching to answer it. How do you know you are healed without dating? I want to answer this.
Mhm.
How do you know you are healed without dating? When your triggers hit remarkably different. Okay? When you are triggered and it
Mhm.
doesn't trigger you the way it triggered you before, that's how you know it's your healing, okay? Because triggers are just a mirror to show you what you still need to heal. That's what triggers are. And where are we most triggered at? In relationships, people who are
Mhm.
closest to
That hot
us.
space.
So when your triggers hit remarkably different, that's when you know that you are ready. And you're never going to be 100% ready. Let me tell you, baby, you're never going to be 100% anything, okay? You are constantly evolving, constantly growing, constantly knowing. So when your triggers hit different, that's when you know that you're ready. Bessie, you want to touch on that too? Because I know you good. I know you got some gems to drop on that as well.
So, and I mean, the other point is, besides the not understanding your trigger points, when you can see the person that broke your heart the worst and you don't have no ill will towards them, when you can have a conversation with them, a civil conversation, no fights, when you can forgive that person to the core of your heart and understand that you have released them from out your system. It's safe to say that you can ask spirit or pray to spirit and say, hey, help me to remove this person from out of my spirit so that I may move on. That's a freedom thing. Of course, spirit is going to help you with that. And that's because whenever you have gone through something so heart wrenching from someone that you loved and that you thought loved you back, like it's easy to shut down and say, no, I'm never going back again. That's why there's so many people who say, no, I would never be in a relationship again. No, I'm not going to get married again. No, I don't feel like dating again. It's because they're still filling the void with things that make the void get bigger. No, you have to show forth love. I remember whenever, in fact, Bestie, you've asked me that. We've had conversations within our friend circle, our close friend circle, and people ask me, they all ask me, would you consider getting married again? I absolutely would. I'm a Cancer. We love love, baby. What? You didn't want the love? Okay, moving on. One of TLC's songs that I absolutely love, and there's a hook that goes, erase, replace, new face, embrace. And I said, oh my goodness, like I would play that song on repeat. It's called Switch. It's called Switch. And it's saying, it's like, TLC was all about liberating the women anyway, right? But I said that song could go for anybody, because what you do is you erase this person out of your spirit, your mind, your body even, right? Let's be clear, especially when those physical bonds happen. Erase all of that energy, that person, those negative talks, those fights out your head. Replace them with somebody who truly loves you and that you can truly love, and embrace them with all of you, not part of you, but all of you.
All of you. That's right.
Because, and we know somebody, whether or not you knew it or not, Ash, that I witnessed jump from relationship to relationship to relationship to relationship. And I asked them, I said, so when do you heal? And the response was, I don't like being alone. Okay, well, that's a problem, because that means you're going to grab and go for any and everything, even the things that's not meant for you. Mm-hmm. It's like the person who's drowning and they're like, oh my gosh, I got to find something to hold on to. Oh, here's something. Oh, baby, but that's a shark. Right, baby, this is a shark. There's a boat on this side. You grab the shark.
Not a shark.
I just saw clips from Jaws, so it's still kind of fresh in my head. So, but it's still this. It's that same thing. It's like you don't want to just reach out for any and everything. You want to reach out for something that is meant for you. But when you're healed, right? And also think about this, because since we're talking about reach out and touch somebody's hand. If these things are from your relationship, how you gonna hold on to your new person? Yeah. So reach out and touch with 2 free hands. Let those people go away, because you can.
Okay. Listen to the song, okay? There's a message in the music. Music is spiritual. I'm dropping a reel on that tomorrow. I'm not going to talk about it, but I'm dropping a reel on that tomorrow. Music has messages in it. They carry vibration. So listen to the lyrics of that song. And guys, you have to also remember, healing is not the finish line. It's a lifelong journey, okay? So to understand that something hurt you, okay, it hurt you. What is it teaching you? It hurt you, but you have to grow through what you go through. What did it teach me so that I won't repeat these same mistakes in the next relationship? Because if you don't learn these lessons, you will repeat them, which is the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result. So the whole point of healing is to learn what your triggers are, what hurts you, how to properly heal those wounds and move on. Because when you stay stuck on something, you don't heal from it. It just keeps repeating in the back of your mind. And remember, things are kept in your subconscious mind. You're not necessarily conscious of it because you're not thinking about it. But then something happens and you get triggered. You may see someone arguing on the street. You're like, oh, that person is upset. Oh, I remember when I got upset with my ex. Trigger, that's why they say trigger warning, because certain things will bring up events that happen to you from whatever time period that it happened to. Mm-hmm. So that's why it's so important for you guys to heal. I will say it until I'm black and blue in the face. It really does change everything. Look, I see you shuffling now, so I know you're about to flip something and pull something, but it's so essential for you guys. Yes. To heal. Go ahead, Maxine.
No, I was laughing because I was just listening, and we see this in our daily lives. If y'all hadn't pieced together, I'm in the health field. Kind of, it's kind of my thing, okay? And that's what we see in our health. We tell people, to do right, but you don't do it. You know that your body can't handle all those greasy foods, yet you eat greasy food 6 out of the 7 days of the week. Girl, I'm trying to lose weight, man. I'm trying to tell you, I'm trying to lose weight, baby. But you ate fried chicken Monday through Wednesday, and now you're eating fried fish Thursday, Friday, and you're talking about going to a shrimp broil on Saturday, but then you already have plans to cook more fried chicken on Sunday. Let's talk. Let's discuss. When are you going to breathe, right? When are you going to do what's right by your body? And I think, so I was watching something the other day, and the lady was saying, don't forget that your body is a temple. And I think we often forget that because we, in our society, the American society, that is, I can only speak for ours. We kind of have been groomed in a way to always be giving of ourselves. So naturally we're prone to give away a piece of ourselves. Even for those who say, oh, I don't do people like that. There's always a piece of person that you will give yourself to. And that's because we've been groomed to do that. Sharing is caring. It's true.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
Right.
From grade school, we were taught that from grade school.
Right. And we're taught that, share with your brother, share with your sister, and we share. And then when it gets to the point of, I just heard overshare, because some people do overshare. Let's be clear. Mm-hmm. And it causes rifts and tips in families. Then when the other person stops sharing and they're all about self, and this person is still sharing, oh, you think you have all the answers. You think you got this. You Miss Know-It-All. You Mr. Know-It-All. No, I was literally grown to share with you the knowledge that I have, and I'm sharing that with you. But whether or not you receive it, I am still giving you this knowledge.
Right.
And sometimes people figure that out when it's too late, when this person has gone on to the other side of life. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I wish I could have made things right, because they were right. And it's because they finally healed, but they healed towards the end of this person's transition period. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so now they live with it, right? So we've all been grown to give of ourselves, but rarely do we put it in a way where but we're sacred beings. Now, sweetie, I'm going to give you grace. and I'm going to continue to give you grace, but then there's also got to be a time when I have to pull back, because what you're giving me is negativity. You're pulling away from me. You're not receiving from me, but you're pulling away from me. You're eating at my soul when I'm just trying to love on you, when I'm just trying to be helpful to you. You see how that goes into tonight's topic with, are you ready for a relationship?
Mm-hmm.
Because how are you taking care of your other relationships? That will also help you determine whether or not you're ready for a relationship. Are you still snapping
And
at, are you still snapping at those kids? Are you still being disrespectful to your mother, your father? Are you turning your back on your grandparents, on society?
talk about it.
When Nicole, 2 cubicles down, finds you as the confidant that she needs to find security and peace, do you welcome her or do you tune her away? Do you be like, oh girl, here she come again with another problem? Don't forget, you shining your beacon of light. So of course people will come to you.
Mm-hmm.
But that also determines how ready you are. Because are you gonna do the same thing when your boo, your bae, your sweet candy yam come to you and say, hey babe, I got this problem? Or better yet, when they don't have the words to say it, but they're silent. Are you gonna
Right.
nitpick, or are you gonna pick up, okay, babe is having a moment. I'm gonna let them have their moment, but then I'm gonna come in, I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm just gonna lay up against their chest, lay up against their shoulder, wrap my arms around them. And even if they
Mm-hmm.
pull away, like, okay, I'll give you your space some more, kiss, and go my
Mm-hmm.
separate way so that they can deal with that properly. But at the same time, know that I'm still there. And
Mm-hmm.
also letting them
Non-verbal.
know, right, and also letting them know that these are my boundaries. When you pull away like that, when you
Mm-hmm.
don't want me to embrace you, just know that I'm going to go away from you, because this is your space and I will not be dragged into your space when you're in that space. But I'll
Mm-hmm.
be here waiting for you when you come out, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's that grace. That's that love. That's that unconditional love, right?
Unconditional love. That's right.
And then
That's
that
right.
also again lets them know, because I value my body as something sacred, you will not disrespect.
That's right.
You will not.
Oh, wait. I have to touch on that. I have to touch on that because we are living in times where we have to be conscientious of energy and other people's energy. And if someone is not an asset, they are a liability. Okay? And we have to look at things for what they are, not for what they seem to be or for what we want them to be. So you have to look at a person's behavior. You have to look at what they're not telling you. You have to look at what they are actually doing versus what they are saying. Okay? Because when the actions don't match the words, it's a dub. In 2025, if the actions don't match the words, swipe left. All the way left. Because again, if they're not an asset, they're a liability. All right?
Right.
I don't like to use this term YOLO, but no one's getting younger. No one is getting younger. So are you going to honestly waste your years trying to figure out if this is going to work? Trying to make something that's not working work? Trying to wait on someone to work? Like, come on, people. Like, let's talk about it, all right? This is Cards and Conversations. Let's talk. Like, if they're not an asset, they're a liability. Point blank, period. In this season, we are looking at actions, okay? I'm blind, baby. You gotta, or I'm deaf. You gotta show me. I'm deaf.
Listen.
You gotta show me. Like, you gotta show me.
Are you still going to believe that person that gives you a black eye and they say that they don't mean it? We're not doing that this year.
Okay. And
We're not
guys,
doing
listen
that.
up. Certain forms of abuse is not only physical, okay? Just know that. There is manipulation, there's emotional, there are so many different forms of abuse, guys, okay? It's not only physical. Physical may be one of the worst, but it's not the only aspect, okay? There are so many different forms of abuse. So if someone is showing you exactly who they are and they're being emotional abusive, that's who they are, guys, all right? We're not doing that. 2025, we're not doing that. All right, my phone is heating up. Can y'all hear the fan in the background? Because if so, I will turn it off. Bessie, can you hear it?
No. It's silent.
Let me know if y'all can hear it in the chat because I can hear it, so I feel like it's a little loud. I hear you shuffling cards, so I know you already pulled some. I know you pulled cards already. Because I know you, so I know you got cards pulled already. Don't even try it. Stop. Koi does not become you. I know you don't pull some cards.
Fine, I pulled the cards.
Look what I got. Look what I got. Like, before you reveal the cards, what I got.
Hold
My
on.
favorite number.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you, courtesy of my bestie. All right, go ahead.
I mean, but were you finished though? Like, because I don't want to.
I would. Like, listen.
Okay.
I have now moved into the conversation part, and we have wrapped up that part. So let's get into the cards, baby.
Okay. So, and one other thing about recognizing your body as the temple is also recognizing that you have a responsibility of allowing things to come in and out of your body. That was the last thing I wanted to say on the conversation piece. And that includes energies. Like I've said a prayer and it's come true. And I've said, Spirit, if somebody is not for me, make it hard for me to connect with this person. Let me lose connection. Oh, and it happens every single time. And I'm like, oh, so that person won't it either. This person has something going on and you know something that I don't. What they say, all rejection is God's protection, right?
Yeah.
All right. So getting into the cards. So this time I did a little different. I did use my past life cards. And I asked Spirit, I said, well, help us understand why some of us are in some of this energy, or what is some of the things that we've had to deal with in our past lives that we are carrying in this life, right? Because some of the okay, Spirit really wants me to say this right now. So some of the karmic debt that we are dealing with in this lifetime, including singleness, including relationship stuff, is because of things that happened in the past. And I thought it was interesting because we were talking about health, that health was literally the first set of cards that came out. And so literally the first card is health, literally. So there were some things that was happening health wise. And it was never fully and properly healed. And I want to say I'm really picking up that some people were poisoned by their lovers. So they're still carrying on the anger. Wow. Some people was abused. And I'm going to go ahead and share this so I can put these two together, because this came out with it. Medicine man or woman, right? Some of you were healers and was your health, your life was taken away by a lover. And so you haven't healed from that because your distraction is healing other people. You don't want to recognize your own trauma and your own pain. So you constantly heal other people. And so if you are a healer in this time, some of you are dealing with that. Oh, don't worry about me. I'll be all right. But girl, what you say again? How can I help you though? How can I that's what that looked like. It's the you're putting yourself last so that you can help other people. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? But again, you have to heal yourself. Otherwise, you're going to be running on fumes. And then when you're talking about trying to be in a relationship, you're not, because you're still holding on to this trauma. The second set of cards that came out, they kind of came out in twos, except for the end. And I'm going to get very detailed about that. And I see, and I know why. The second one was due to phobias. Some of you have phobias that have transcended from another lifetime. And so, with spirit, this next card, imprisonment or slavery. So, for those of you that are dealing with you have a phobia of being in prison, entrapped in very small spaces, or being confined. If you have a phobia of that, spirit is saying that you got a phobia of that because that's kind of like how you died, or that's how you felt in your past life relationship. You felt trapped. And so now it expresses itself as a phobia of being trapped in any type of way. Like I'm just hearing, I'm hearing right now for some people, and I'm literally seeing people, but I don't know your name, but I could see some of you literally going into hyperventilating modes, and you're just like, where did that come from? Like I don't know what, and it's because of being confined. You have to go within. You have to do tantric work, is what I'm hearing. Tantric and meditation work to kind of go deep within to help free you. You have to tell your old self, it's okay now. We're in a new lifetime. We can breathe. We're no longer confined to small spaces. I'm also seeing that for some women, but I have a specific person, but I'm also getting that some women, or so if you was a woman in a past life and you had a husband, a very abusive husband, that he used to throw you in the closet. Like I'm seeing the old house, everything, like throw you in the closet, lock the door, and it's like a pantry, but lock the pantry and will leave you in there for like a day or so. And so even I'm even getting, so if you see houses that have small pantries that you can walk in, or that's big enough for somebody to go in, you kind of like, oh, that's creepy. That's why. Because you're in your past life, you was locked into those things. So to you, it comes out as fears, like, oh, or high dislike. It's like, oh no, like I don't like that. No, like we're gonna get rid of this. We're gonna open this up, or we're gonna make this smaller. Like, yeah. So this next one kind of confused me a little bit, and I was like, what in the world? Asia. Asia came up. But with it was ships. Some of you have not gotten over the fact in your past life that your spouse made you travel to a different land, moved you away from your people. It's like you agreed to it, but you really in your heart space didn't want to. But because of the times of the culture of that time period, you went along with it. But you always long for home, and that was Asia. And I often would wonder, like, why do certain people like just have this like this attraction for Asia? And it's because more than likely you have Asian ancestors who went through this, or that was you, and you now reincarnated to your present self, and you want to go back to your homeland. I'm also getting that for some people there was slavery involved, even from Asia, even though we may not ever talk about it, or it may not be widely known, but I'm really picking up slavery, even from Asia. So if you all know something about that, please enlighten me. I'm getting really hardcore slavery. I know some of it happened, but I'm getting like before the time period that I'm thinking about that it also happened. Um, for some of you, galactic star seeds that's been
Ooh, I
here
love that card.
that's been here for centuries. And guess what?
That's a lot of us.
And so many of us feel like orphans, feel like we've been left to ourselves, felt like we was born in the wrong families. I don't fit these people. Who are these earthlings and why are they treating me this way? Why are they saying these things to me? Like, you feel like the black sheep for real in your family. And so you felt like an orphan, and that goes along with that loneliness. You have to deal with loneliness. You have to understand that in your loneliness is your power. You have to understand that for some of you, yes, there are certain, well, I'm not even going to say some of you, there are certain people that are meant to be alone, but they will also find solace in that. They don't mind being alone. And that's because they lived in a previous lifetime. So let me first say that. But some of us are on assignment, is what I'm getting. And so your love isn't going to be your typical love. I think I actually had a conversation with Ash one night after after a show, I should say. And one of the I was listening to a reader, and she said something so profound, and I said, you know what, that makes so much sense. And she said that for some people, your true love isn't going to be like, oh, I fell in love with this person so dearly, like they bring out the sun, the moon, and the stars for me, and the roses, and I'm seeing Snow White and the seven dwarfs. You know how the animals flock to her, right? It's not going to be like that for you. Sometimes, yeah, it's not going to be a fairy tale. It's like your love is going to be like, hey, I like you. You're going to like me. We got a business to run. We got an empire to create. We got to save lives. This is what we're going to do. Like, we going to do this thing. And you just like, uh, uh, okay, okay. How, don't be talking to me. And then they grab you and kiss you in your mouth. And you just like, okay, now what'd you say we doing again? Right. And and then for some of you that are very dominant, you're gonna have that person that says, why are you in here doing all this fussing? You know what? Here, calm down. I'll be in the next room when you're ready. And it's like they're gonna not match your energy, but balance out your energy. Because again, relationships should balance each other out. There should be a give and take. So what that person lacks, you'll have. What you lack, that person will have. So it's the word transitional comes to mind, but it's not like, it's not a transitional as in when they were, what is it, matching people up back in the day and say, oh, when you marry my daughter you get this land and you get, no, it's not that type of transaction. It's spiritual transaction because you two ignite each other. It's like you both have a lock and key set, but this person has the key to your lock and you have the key to their lock. And when you join forces, you unlock each other. It's like you unlock each other's superpower. That's the best way to also put that. And then the last card, for some of you that's lost a child, I want you to know that this is solace for you in a sense. Okay. I want you to understand that the baby was a lesson for you, was a mirror for some of you to show how strong you are, was a gateway for you to tap into something beyond you. Because I can hear some people say, I know I couldn't have done this by myself. It had to be in spirit. It had to been God. It had to been, whoever that you believe in. And right now, a friend of mine, a real close friend of mine comes to mind because she had triplets and all three passed away. And from a spiritual side, a lot of people were saying, oh man, God's going to really bless you. You're going to get through this. And she was like, I'm not trying to hear that. Let's be clear. I just went through 3 losses. I carried these triplets in my womb for months. Had to deliver them. I want to say they had to deliver them at like 7.5 months because they were getting too crowded. And one lived a little bit longer than the first 2. And then I want to say like a month later passed away. Like heavy. Last card was baby. Because some people had to die as babies. So they didn't get a chance to live. And so for some of you, you're like, I want to live. Some of you crave children and don't know why. And it's because you died as a baby. You know what it's like to not live a full life. Some of you want babies so bad that you're just like, anybody will do. I just want the egg. I just want the sperm. Don't know if I can say these. We'll know in a few hours, right? But it's like once you get to that point and you're like, how I don't know. I just want to do it. I just want to do it. It's because you want that full life that you never got a chance to experience. But Spirit is like, you will not mix my blessing with this over here. It ain't happening. And for some of you who do get that fortunate chance, it's because that child has a greater purpose on life than what you or the baby father or the baby mother can think. It's also a test and a lesson to see if you're going to raise your child with the same traumas that you went through, or are you going to live differently? Are you going to break, as we call them, generational curses? Or are you going to perpetuate them and then add some to it with this child? So that's why I said this right here. I'm glad it came out last, because all of these things from a baby on up, some people have gone through tests and trials and they don't understand why, and then their life was cut short. They lived a life of imprisonment. They were so willing, they didn't know how to open their mouths and use their mouths, or they felt so abandoned and alone that they go for anybody and anything just to feel love, or they close their hearts, right? Spirit is like, no. Spirit is also saying that you have to be like a baby. And the irony of it all. And the irony of it all. You have to also be like a baby. Babies are forgiving. They're playful. They're lovable. They're lovable. They're joyful. Yes, they know that this thing hurt them, but then they're like, oh, it's you again. You got a smile on your face again. It's that person that I know is going to nurture and take care of me again. And when they get older and then they see that you're down, they're the first ones to give you a hug. Depending on how they're raised, they're the first one to pray over you or pray for you, give you a gift, right? And it's because they know the powerful effects of reciprocal love. They received all this love for you growing up, and now they're like, okay, now I get a chance to give it back to you, right? So it's like, be playful, be willing to learn, be willing to forgive and let go. We know you may not forget it, but forgive and let go for you, not for them.
Right.
Last card. Now, I'm going to say this. I have been seeing butterflies and moths like nobody's business lately. And I pulled this card, butterflies and moths. And it says, head in the clouds. So out of this deck, I read both the positive and the negative so you can find yourself in it and get what you need. And it reads, well, hello up there. How is the view from up there? Are you living in a dreamy, almost obscure day today? Having dreams is what makes the world go round. But do not get so lost in the dream that you forget your reality. It is easy to get lost in the fantasy of it all. While dreaming is amazing, you must take different avenues to get to them, setting and manifesting your intentions. Perhaps a vision board will help you get a little more grounded to manifest your dreams, as opposing to having your head in the clouds and just waiting for your dream to manifest without taking any real part in making them come true. On the reverse side, you are so grounded and living the daily ground, you have forgotten to dream. Or perhaps you have let go of your dreams because it seems life is taking too long for them to come true. Try that vision board. Maybe you were scared to dream big. Okay, well, then small dreams first, easily obtainable. You can work your way up from here. Go ahead, dream, let loose, desire something more than your everyday grind. You deserve it. So, again, don't be so caught up on what was that you don't believe what will. And don't be so dreamy that you miss the red flags. Or when spirit is saying, this ain't the one. I have something better for you down the road. I'm done.
That. I love that. Thank you, Bestie. Thank you so much. And that last card, that resonated with me. I'm gonna tell you also because I've been seeing a lot of moths, not butterflies, but moths. And they always say that, every insect and animal is associated with a spiritual meaning. I think everything is a spiritual meaning, especially signs and synchronicity. So whenever I see something that, resonates with me, I'm trying to find the meaning in it. So that moth card just really hit because I do feel like my head tends to be in the clouds a lot. And so that's okay.
Right.
As long as I find the balance. There has to be a balance. And I think that you just pulling that card just reminded me to find that balance. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for that feed. And guys, if you don't know already, after the conversation, after the cards being pulled, know this: healing is personal. Healing is personal. Dating is optional, all right? But self-love is non-negotiable. Your self-love is a non-negotiable. You have to honor yourself, value yourself, and love yourself, okay? And don't rush the healing process. All right, I know the title is talking about whether or not you should date while you're healing. Don't rush it.
Yes.
Don't rush anything. love, healing, work, nothing. Take your time with it, baby step. And speaking of time, we have reached the time where you guys are collective. Everybody that has stayed on up until now, this is your time to ask me anything under the sun. Any question that was not answered previously, any questions that you guys had to ask that you waited to ask until we got to the end of the show. Now is your time to ask me. It could be work related, love related, that weird dream you had last night. Nothing is off limits. So now is your time to ask me. And we just want to take the time to thank you guys for staying on for as long as you did. Thank you for all our new and returning collective, new and returning, not subscribers. I'm not on YouTube. To our new and returning viewers out there who have just found us and who are coming back to watch us again. We just want to thank you guys and let you guys know that we do this every Tuesday. 11:11 Eastern Standard Time, just in case you guys were wondering if this is a one-time thing. It is not. We are here every Tuesday. Hopefully in the future we may increase it to another day. I don't know, Billy. People just watching. People are watching, so we may have to increase it. That's further on down the line.
What you said? What you said? The streets are talking.
Look, the streets are talking.
The streets are talking. I'm not
even kind of toot our horn, but our videos are definitely gaining traction. So I know that in the future we're gonna have to increase the 1 day a week to 2 days a week. So looks like we have a question in the comments. What do spiritual attacks in dreams mean?
It depends on how they were, what was attacked, right? But it's letting you know that you're being attacked, for sure. And then you also have to look at, was it a person? Was it an entity? Was it an animal? Because most of the time when it's an animal, it's spirit's way of trying to get your attention. Like, hey, look at the qualities of this animal. Look at why this animal is significant to you. And then you kind of go from there about why it attacked you. And what your attack means.
That's a great question.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes we have nightmares and we don't know if it's just, something that we ate last night or what we watched last night that contributed to it. But sometimes we really are being spiritually attacked. So I'm glad you asked that question, Glamorous.
And
25, because we don't know.
And I would even say to stop that, to get like a canister and put some salt in it and put it under your bed. They said that helps relieve that. See, yeah. Trying to force you to do something against your will is absolutely. And you have the power. When you are being spiritually attacked like that, you have the power in your dream space to say, no, I am not going to fold, because a yes is a yes. Whether you think it, speak it, dream it, a yes is a yes and a no is a no. Because sometimes what will happen is somebody will send a spirit to get you to sign a contract behind closed doors. That's what I call those type of dreams. It is no, baby. I said no when I was woke, and I'm saying no when I was asleep. It's a no is a no. Yeah.
No across the board without
no across the board. Okay. It's a no for me. What they say in the ballroom scene, it's a chop. And then they get the fan. Look, looking for a fan.
That also just shows you how powerful you are, Glamorous Love.
Yes.
That they have to attack you in your sleep.
In your sleep. Girl,
in your sleep.
What they said, girl, you a bad, hush your mouth.
Okay, that just shows you how powerful you are. Because they don't even know. Well, clearly they know your spiritual ranking in the astral plane.
Yep.
Because they're trying to attack you in your sleep. Because they know not to come for you when you woke. Okay, so they try to attack you when they feel like you're least, ready. So you're a powerful being. You are a powerful being. Glorious Love 25.
Yep. No matter where you are on your journey, they will not attack you if that was not so.
That's right.
Even when people gang up on you. Yep.
Welcome. You are welcome. And also your name just holds weight. Like, we have to remember, words are powerful and words are spells. So you having the name Glorious Love, let me tell you, you are already protected. You are already protected by your ancestors.
I just saw that.
Wow.
Yeah, and see, like I said at the beginning, I am a tool for spirit to use as spirit pleases, because I never yeah, spirit deals with me in so many different ways. And this, I don't know if this is your first time with this or not, honestly, but whatever I get tapped into, I'm supposed to speak it. And that's another reason why we have to make sure that we're healed before we get in relationships too, because that gift, whatever your gift is, got to have a clear way of connecting you with spirit. And sometimes relationships are sent to block you from connecting with spirit. So yep.
Distract you. A lot of the times they will distract you because they know your power.
Yep.
In my comment pin, I'm committed to that. Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Yes.
And like I said, every Tuesday,
every Tuesday,
11:11, and we will post the live. We say every live, so don't fret. Even if you miss it next Tuesday, we'll have it posted where you can watch it.
Yep.
And this will be posted after we wrap this up. So thank you for joining us, and thank you for commenting and interacting and being a brave soul to come on, because most people, would feel, I don't know if I just say something, my business out there. Thank you for being a brave soul. You a brave heart.
Yes.
Glorious Love. My brave heart. So, if you don't have any more questions, anyone in the live still is still on. California and my mouth drop naturally. Oh wow!
Now that's okay.
That's profound.
Okay.
That is groundbreaking. Okay.
Really? Okay. I was just told that's one of your ancestors. They are heavily watching over you.
Wow.
They are heavily watching over you.
I don't think I've ever seen a white owl.
I don't know if y'all remember. I don't know your age, but I'm going to say this. So there was this old movie about, it was basically the Greek gods, but there's this scene where it's either Hera or Athena, I can't remember, sends out a white owl, and that's what I keep seeing. And so that's why I say it's your ancestors coming to, because they're watching over you, because they're just like, no, ma'am. And you know what? Here's the other thing. So in some cultures, they said that the owl is here to collect somebody's soul. But owls are also there to protect you from spiritual attacks. Some people forget that the owl is a bird of prey. It's not just a bird that just be like, oh, no, the owl also is a hunter. So yeah. I'm so I just saw you said that's your brother's name. What's your what was your brother's name? Okay, okay.
Harold.
We honor you in this space, Harold. We honor you. We honor you.
You know what I was thinking of when you mentioned the owl? I kept seeing the Bone Thugs and Harmony song, Crossroads, for some reason. So I think an owl was in that video. So you're right. Owls have different meanings and they represent different things depending on the circumstances, because they will come to collect and they will come to protect. It just depends on, because remember in that video, he didn't take everyone with him. He would touch some people and they would die, and then he would just, bypass them. So it just depends on, if it's your time, it's your time. You can't fight fate, but sometimes you do have the higher realms protecting you, letting those angels know, but it's not your time.
Absolutely.
That's my song. One of my favorite songs. I just happened to come across that on YouTube one day, and I was like, let me watch this video. And there's so many gems. When you watch things from back in the day where you weren't as conscious as you are now, you start to see things like, oh, I missed that, or that means, like, you connect the dots and everything just kind of forms a whole new meaning. So,
see?
Yeah.
The divine appointments and connections.
Divine intervention. Divine intervention. That was meant for you to see.
Yep.
Everything happens for a reason. So thank you, Glorious One. And we cannot wait to see you on in the next upcoming lives. We appreciate you. We love you. And we, of course, value you. So thank you so much for interacting with our live tonight. Now, if we don't have any more questions, comments, or concerns, this will conclude tonight's episode of Cards and Conversations. That's my song too. Oh yes, I love Aaliyah. She's one of my favorites. She is one of my absolute favorites. Had a nervous breakdown when I heard that she transcended, but I know that she's still here with us. But that's one of my favorite songs. I Care For You. I love singing that song. We right here. We right here. Okay. Bone Thugs, the lead that girl. Look, we right here.
Okay.
So so this will conclude tonight's episode of Cards and Conversations. And just know, guys, the cards do not dictate your fate. They simply illuminate your life. So choose wisely, love deeply, and stay dangerous.
Okay.
And hopefully we see you guys here next week. Same time, same place. Cards and Conversations, where every episode unfolds a deck. You're welcome, my love. Of intriguing discussion. We'll see you guys next week, and stay tuned for the live. We will upload it, all right?
Yes.
Peace, love, and light, fam. Love y'all. Peace. Bye, Bessie.
Bye. You all. See you next time.